that he introduced authors to people who could get their books published, and that's a magnanimous gesture. And one of those he had a great influence on is Clarence Nero, and I wanted Clarence to start off with his moments about Lynn Harris.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
First, I'd like to thank Mr. Bryant for squeezing me in at the last minute. When I heard that y'all were doing a tribute at the conference and I was going to be in Atlanta, I just had a burning desire to be here to say a few words about my friend and mentor, Lynn Harris. I met Lynn when I was a student at Howard University. I would go to his book signings. As a student, I was really inspired by his writing. Years later, when I was a graduate student at LSU, I had to do a story on Lynn Harris, and I went to meet him at the bookstore. After the book signing, he invited me to go to lunch with him. He had a limousine, and I was in a limo with him, and you could imagine, for somebody who had appreciated and loved him, to now be riding in this famous author's limo. I mean, Lynn did it big. You know, he was a big-time best-selling author who rode in limousines, and there I was. We went to lunch, and he was so nice and so kind-hearted, I found. And we went to lunch, and I told him about my book that I was writing in the graduate program, 3 Sides to Every Story. Lynn told me that he would call his editor, Janet Hill, and introduce my book to her. Many people say that they're going to do things, and you never really know if they're going to really do it, but Lynn did. Janet Hill contacted me a couple of weeks later saying that Lynn had contacted her, and she wanted to read my material. Well, she did read the material, and I got a book deal because of Lynn Harris. He really started my career in the publishing business, as he did so many other writers. He opened the door for so many people. He was very, very generous. And I think a lot of people don't know that. He really helped. I mean, he ushered in a whole generation of writers, just like Terry McMillan. I mean, he really just had a great impact on my work. Dr. Maya Angelou, my aunt, says that courage is the greatest virtue of all. Lynn had a lot of courage. It took a lot of courage to write about homophobia in the black church, bisexuality, engaged in a time when people were not talking about this in the early 90s. That is true. It took a lot of courage to do that. And whether you were a fan of his work or not, you have to acknowledge his creative talent and what he brought. And he created conversations that we were not having in our community. And for that, I have a great respect for him. He was so happy, Mr. Bunn, when y'all acknowledged his work here at the conference. In 06, I was here during that time. He was very excited about that. So I just want to send prayers out to his family and his many fans. I would miss him dearly. We would converse back and forth. We conversed 2 weeks ago by email. I was in a car accident in February, and Lynn didn't know about the accident. And when he found out, he was horrified. And just like typical Lynn, he called me and said, whatever you need, what is it that you need? He offered financial, whatever. He was just that kind of person. I would miss him greatly. Thank you for this opportunity.